everybody. This is Panzer the Cat. Welcome to Creative Visions TV. I'm your host, Karen Dahlman. We got Panzer and Rodney. Hey, Rodney.
Hi, how's it going?
Glad to have you here today.
Glad to be here.
So, I've been asked several times how to use the Ouija board by yourself. So today we're going to talk about that. That's a great question because not everybody has somebody to use it with, or you may even want to use it with somebody because you feel like you kind of want to keep this in the closet, if you know what I mean. You want to keep this kind of quiet sometimes in private. And then again, other people in your life may not be interested in using it. I totally get it. I always say if you can find somebody to use it with at least once, it's going to help you. But if you can't, we're going to talk about ways to use it by yourself.
Good. So let me ask you this. My first question would be, because I've never used it by myself. I've only ever used it with you, or
right,
with another person. And my understanding is about the energy and how the energy comes through and how it's a composite of you and me. And what's the difference when you use it as a single person?
Well, I'm glad you asked that because that is a good question because there is a difference. So when you're working with somebody, you can kind of fall into the process and path of using it a lot easier because what happens is when the planchette starts moving, you think, oh, well, it's my partner, okay, well, or maybe I'm doing it or they're doing it, but somehow you let go because there's another person here with you. It's easier to let go, I'll say it that way. But when you use it by yourself, it's you at the driver's seat and you alone in the passenger seat too. So that makes a big difference right there, just thought process alone. So you can kind of freak yourself out and trick yourself to saying, if it starts moving when you're by yourself, that maybe I'm pushing it. Maybe my ideomotor, which means your small muscle movements denoted by the brain, is making it happen. Or I can't believe this is happening. So you're going to have that happen at first, and you have to work yourself through that process and thinking before it will, because it's like you got to get out of one side of your brain and into the other. Get out of linear thinking into this kind of creative thinking, a little more circular thinking than logical. So, for example, my hands are on here, and it'll just be me solo. I'm going to just probably put my hands on here like this. Now, if Rodney was on here with me, we put our hands on here like this, and we would share the planchette. And the other difference I want to share, and you and I've talked about this, and the guides have spoken to us about it as well, when you work with somebody, it becomes 1, 2, and the guide or the spirit you're talking to is 3. It becomes 3 of you, which changes the message and changes the energy because 2 coming together add their both unique filters, the way they see the world, their perceptions, that comes together and influences and factors into the communication. When it's just you alone, my message will still be consistent to what I get with Rodney when I work with him, but they will be said maybe a little differently, more along the lines of my filters, because the spirits, when they communicate, will use your perceptions, your beliefs, your understandings, a lot of your own words, and your filters in which you see the world.
So does that create greater limitations, or does that create a more wide open environment?
I would say either way you use this tool, it's up to you. So the limitations of this tool working or not working is based on your own beliefs and perceptions. And we just have to retrain our brains. We have to retrain ourselves in ways of thinking to use this tool alone. It definitely can be done. I know a lot of people who use it. And I want to say, you guys, people choose to use it with other people because they just choose to. That's comfortable for them, as it was for me for 39 years. But these last 5 years, I've taught myself how to use it alone. And I don't say use it one way or the other because one way's worse, one way's better, one way's bad, one way's good. I say use what works for you, and that's what you're going to find the best way for it to get it to work. What are you comfortable with? And if you're comfortable using it alone, it will work. But I got to say, Rodney, it takes time.
Let me ask you this.
Sure.
We do a whole preparation thing. We do breathing, then we do an invocation or an introduction or a prayer. Is there a difference when you do it alone? Do you prepare the same way? Do you meditate? How do you do it when you do it alone?
I like that question too. And by the way, we didn't rehearse any questions here. He's just asking what he knows people tend to ask, and we also read all the comments too that you guys leave so graciously on the YouTube channel and when you write to me on my social media. So thank you so much. The preparation is very similar. The only difference what I find, and now this is just my opinion, many of you do it your own way, so I'm just here to share one way that's been tried and true and worked for me, and many others I've taught how to use this tool. The difference would be the amount of more meditation using it on my own and more belief in the process using it on my own than it does for me when I work with somebody. Now, if you're brand new using this tool out of the box, you started using it by yourself, you'd probably say the opposite when you switched to using it with another person than I may say. But for me, because I spent so many years working with a partner, and then turned over and went to using it by myself sometimes, it was definitely a learning curve for me as well. And I sat there with a lot of patience. So the thing that I would say is the most different is I would spend on my own more time in meditation, trying to deepen myself into relaxation. More time spent internally to clearing my pathways and opening myself up for the energies to come through, and then telling myself, this is going to work, this is working, and not doubting it. So when it starts to move, in the beginning, I would say, is this me just wishful thinking? Am I just trying to push it? Is it ideomotor? I'm making this crap up? You know, you go through the gamut. That is okay. That's part of the process. But yes, I would say add a little deeper meditation to it. When I say meditation, it doesn't necessarily mean, though it can. It means taking time to close your eyes, go within, and get focused. Release the burdens of the day. Get into a spot where you feel very clear, secure, comfortable. Breathe and calm. And the energy shifts. And then you're ready. And by the way, I do that with a partner, but I do it even more so I practice when I'm using it by myself.
Let me ask you this.
Okay.
The board you choose, is that important?
No, it's never the board, you guys. Thanks for bringing that up. It's never the board, and you're going to see why. I'm going to show you here all the different ways in which I use my different boards and where I may sit, where I may sit in a chair, sit on the floor, cross-legged, at a table. I'm going to show you all that, how you can work with different boards and still use it alone. So no, the board doesn't matter. The board never, ever, ever matters. What matters is you. You're the operator, and you are the reason why this tool works. The tool has no special power in it at all. And you're going to see why. Great question.
Oh, good.
So one of the ways I like to work with this tool is sitting down. So if I'm going to use it by itself. So I like to sit with my back against like a table or chair and put it right on my lap. The idea is to find the most comfortable place for yourself. So this is one location. I'll put it on my lap like this. I'm able to put my back against something so I'm sturdy. And then I just go like this. I prefer to put my hands on it like this with this pointer up. Here, I'll let it start to move. So I'm not pushing it. This is totally pulling itself. It's starting to spell. It's going around. Usually what it does, it likes to go around the board first in the beginning. I just follow it. And then when it stops on a letter, then I start writing things down. I'll write with this hand over here. So this is just one way I like to work with this tool. So here I am sitting in front of my fireplace. Of course, you don't want your fireplace on if you work this way when you're doing this. And you could sit here and actually do a meditation. I like it because there's a level here. So my body, rear end, is more on one side. My feet hang a little lower. And in front of me, I have a nice little stool, which I'm going to place the board on. So I can sit here and get into, let me see, a nice breathing state. A lot of times using the board alone, and even with another person, but we're just talking about alone today, you need to get your vibration set. So a meditation, stating your intentions and doing that before you start is what you want to do. And I use that to raise my vibration to match the frequency of that which I would like to communicate with. So on this table you can lay anything that works. Maybe you have a homemade board. Here, I got my paper sack board. That may not work too well on this table. This is going to work better on the floor. If I didn't have this table here, I could definitely work just like this. Okay? But since I'm using the table, I'm going to put this aside. And look, another homemade board. Just out of cardboard, you guys. Just out of cardboard. These all work. Because you're the one that makes them work. The board is no special power. It's all you. And look, some kind of Cool Whip. Actually, it's called True Whip. It's natural, vegan. And I just cut a little hole in it, like an indicator. Put it on here. And I'm actually going to turn it around this way. And I'm going to go ahead and allow this to work. So I'll just start working right now by myself with this tool. And when it starts to move, this is it. This is not me. This is how they come in, my spirit guides. And I close my eyes. So if you close your eyes when you start using it by yourself, and just get used to following the movement. And then it starts going to letters. And that's an R. So as I start getting letters, I would write them out right here. I'm not going to make this laborious for you, so I spout a whole message. You will see my partner and I do this on this channel sessions. And by the way, for me, this tool works a lot quicker when I do work with a partner. But I want you to see, again, different places I may sit and use this tool and give you ideas so you can find the right place for you that works within your home and within your environment. Hey Panzer, you want to do the board with me? You like doing this little talking board, spirit board? Got Panzer with me today. So another way I like to work is just sitting on the floor, right Panzer? And he'll sit here and watch me. I'm down at his level. By the way, he loves playing in his papers. Ooh, don't you? So anyway, I can play with the cat and also use the board. I've got this fantastic angel board. Love this board. Little archangel here. And here I am sitting here, just right with my cat, right on the floor. Now, the only thing when you do have your pets around, you don't want them distracting you. Panzer will either walk away after a little bit or just, yeah, kitty. He'll just be kind of quiet to himself. The idea is you don't want distractions really when you're working this tool. So he's going to say, I'm already done. See? So you want to get rid of distractions. Sit with your tool. I, again, do like sitting cross-legged. This works for me. I may put something behind my back, like this corner of this chair. I prefer to be right over the board like this. Again, I like to have both of my hands on here. Like this one, I like to put 2 fingers each. And just allow it to start working. And then when I get a letter, I would start writing. And I'll show you how that works as I sit at another location, how I use the writing as well, along with this. Again, you want to be in that meditative state and just let it work for you. This is probably one of my favorite positions. I might sit this way also on my bed. I just find it very comfortable and kind of leaning over the board a little bit. And I don't get tired. I'm so used to using this tool. After a while, you'll get used to it too. So again, here they go. I'm not pushing it. This is them working. Them are my spirit guides, and they're coming through. And when they come through on this board, they love to, like they're doing right now, they love to check out the different archangels. Because as if you watched my shows before, one of the beings I do communicate is an angel. So they're just checking out this whole board. We haven't used this board in a while. This one moves really well. It's very smooth, and I like that aspect to it. Okay, I'm going to just go ahead and stop them if you guys don't mind. They're fine. Okay, so that's just another way I like to work. Again, find what works for you. Okay, so here's my star tetrahedron board, gifted to me by a woman named Dawn. She did a great job with this. Again, you can make boards out of anything, any shape. Just, make it where you have your alphabet so you can spell and your numbers. And yes and no and goodbye if you choose. I love this board. Very nice, smooth finish to it. So, okay, so here I am sitting at, this is one of my tables in my living room. And I just sit at a table. I have a small stool I'm sitting on. My legs are extended, super comfortable, super comfortable. And next to me, I have another small table where I have my pad of paper and pen. Okay, so this is how I write. So I'm going to show you while I use this board how I will also write at the same time. By the way, here's my little friend. It's my mythic horned toad I made in graduate school when I was studying art. And anyway, it's an incredible piece that I love to have and show off next to this board. They look so good together. All right, so here I have this planchette that was also made for this board. I like to put my hands on it like I showed you in this pattern, this fashion. And then away we go. I've already done my meditation. I've already said my intentions. I'm already focused on what it is I want to connect with and what I'm desiring to do during this communication session. So here we go. And it's moving. This is not me pushing it. We haven't used this board in a bit of time, so it always likes to go around, as I mentioned before. And on this board, this is a stopping point. Now what I would do, so here we go, I'll let it start spelling. E. I just take my hand over here, take my fingers off from here and write an E. And I just follow it. It just went to an A. S. See, it just goes. I just wait till it's ready to stop. Y. And I would normally let it spell. If you've watched my shows before, we get paragraphs and pages, and so it just spelled the word easy. I'm sure it's trying to tell you, look how easy it can be. Now, I know I'm saying that tongue-in-cheek. When you first start out using this tool, it does take some time to build that up. But once you allow that movement to pull you, it does become rather easy. Okay, I can't be using my night vision goggles for this segment. Although this is my patio, and often I will sit out here at night and, look to the stars. But today, when it's a beautiful day outside like it is today, you can take your board outside. You're not limited to being indoors with this tool. And so I've got Rick Schreck's board. It's called the Shrek board. And this is a fantastic board because, surprise, the board's on the back, but this is his artwork. So I just like to sit here in my swing. I can swing a little bit, get out my coffin planchette that comes with this board, and away we go. Now this, when I have a partner, I'll do it like this with my partner's hands. By myself, I'm going to do it like this. And again, I'm going to get in a state with my intentions. I know what it is I want to communicate with. I'm clear on that. My energy is raised to the frequency so I can match the energies I want to communicate with. And I put my hands on here, and again, allow it to go. They're checking out the corners of the board. That's what they do often. They say, which board are we on today? So I'm not pushing this. One thing I want to be really clear about, you don't need to start pushing it to get it to work. I've had people write to me, thank you guys, I'm going to let them go. I'm going to let them off. I've had people write to me and say, oh, you've got to start with the figure 8. Well, you've got to start in circles. I'm not saying you do or you don't. I'm just saying that you can start with just your hands on here and let them pull, and you'll feel it, and then you'll get into a rhythm and groove with it. You'll feel that pull, and that will help you just to let go and follow that. I never push it unless I'm helping somebody learn to use it, then I might show what it feels like. I might be the spirits pulling it, or just to demonstrate to you guys, like right now I'm pushing it. Earlier I wasn't, but right now I am. And that's because you just want to learn without augmenting it with your own energies. You want to learn to let it have its own feeling and movement. That's key. So again, sit outside, enjoy the sun, and have a good time with your board. So let me share with you, if I can recap this, I'm going to say the top three things to think about when you use this tool by yourself. 1, you want to work with the meditation powers. Get into that relaxed state within and get to a place where you feel very comfortable, calm, and you feel like you're willing to give it all your shot and game at it, that it's going to work. So that's important. To have your perceptions ready and do the meditation, number 1. Number 2, switch that thinking from more linear and get into more creative thinking. Now, I know this is so airy-fairy, but instead of saying, my hands go here and it's going to move, my hands go here and I'm going to be patient with this process. If you're patient with the process, here we go, I'll show you. So it just starts moving and they're coming in already. Now, I'm not pushing this. This is how it works for me by myself. But I'm patient. Now, when I first started, okay, but that's good, guys. When I first started, I would sit here like this. Oh, is it going to move? Is it going to move? So you just want to be patient. That would be number 2. And eventually it will move. And it may take you weeks, months, hours, days. I don't know. It's different for everybody. But just be patient. If you keep sitting there with the same type of meditative, number 1, feeling, and number 2, with the patience and switching the way of thinking from linear to more circular and more creative, while you're patient, that's going to help too. And the number 3 thing I want to share with you is that you need to have persistence. So not only are you practicing, not only are you meditating, not only are you switching your brain to think differently than just logical, you have to get it, I swear, you'll get it. Once it clicks and it starts moving, you're going to go, is it me? You're going to argue with yourself. And once you feel that, you're going to know what I'm talking about. So trust that process and the time it takes. Persistence. Sit at this tool. build up the energy. And you do it through all these steps we're talking about. When you sit with the tool long enough, the seriousness of your intentions to connect with the other realms and dimensions and spirits and all these incredible beings of consciousness that are out there waiting for your connection, they will see the seriousness of what you want to do. And they will have an easier time of taking their energies, reaching down when you lift yours up to reach theirs. It's like a partnering. And they're waiting to get that right vibration so they can reach us. And the same with you. So have that patience and persistence. And if you stick with those 3 things we talked about, then you will have results relatively soon.
So I create my intention, and I know what I'm there for. Do I ask a specific question? Do I ask yes or no questions? Or do I simply sit and let the message come to me?
Great, that's another good one. So what I would do to start, I would have my intention that you want to reach out to either a loved one who's passed on, who you feel like just has your best interest at heart, or ask to speak to your angel or guide. I always say go there first. You're going to get all kinds of, energies coming through in the beginning. That's just normal. That's a whole nother show in itself. And there's a show that we did on that, and that will be released soon. But what we need to talk about here is that you need to focus on who you want to communicate with. If it's, let's say, it's your deceased grandfather and you just felt so much love from him, focus on his image. Have his picture sitting here. Say a prayer to him. Or let's say it's your guide or you're an angel. There's so many, you guys. We all have so many guides and angels and guardians and beings that love us that are out there. Not just one, multiple. So say, I ask for those who wish to hold me up in the highest level of my heart. I ask for those who love me and want to share that with me unconditionally. Have that as your intention, then start out and let them come through. And by no means, if anything comes through that you don't like what it's saying to you, don't give any more 2 cents to it. Don't stay with it and let it keep communicating to you. Just say, hey, I'm not going to talk to you. Wipe your board off. This is what I do. Wipe it off, and say goodbye. Now, guides and angels, please come through. I'd like to speak to you. So they're coming through because I talk to them directly all the time. They just start coming through. So just stay in a state of focus. Focus those intentions on what you want to communicate with. And once you get this one being or couple that seem to be really good, that they talk to you, they come through consistently, those become your control. Control is what spiritualists may call them. I call them my bouncers or gatekeepers. And that's the one that's going to bring in the rest of the beings that come through, and they're going to help moderate the conversations. So get to that person first, that energy first, and then everything else will be so much easier that you communicate with. Anything you'd like to add to that?
No, that's really good.
I answered all your questions?
You did.
Great. So listen, we are going to do a real mini session for you. So hold on tight. It's coming. Okay, so now we're going to do just a mini session for you. The guides also want to give their 2 cents to this video, and they want to share with you their suggestions for working this tool alone. So we're just going to walk you through our beginning. What we do is we do our deep breathing. This is where we get into step 1, which is being in meditative and getting into a centered state within ourselves, a real clear place. So we just breathe. And that practice will usually, in the beginning, will happen a lot longer for you, and you really want it to last longer in the beginning. We've been doing this for quite a while now that we know together it's going to come relatively quickly. So the second thing would be switching yourself from that linear thinking to the right brain thinking, and I do that through a prayer. This also allows me to practice and have patience with them, but also I'm setting the intentions. So I'm just going to say a prayer, and in this prayer we'll have the intentions. God, Goddess, Universe, Spirit, all our guides, and all those who have our best interests at heart, we ask you to come forth in universal truth, wisdom, knowledge, and guidance. We also are here today to talk about, here's my intentions, you guys, to talk about ways and helpful insights into using this tool alone. Solo talking board, solo Ouija. And so we ask for that inspiration from you and guidance and words that may help our audience and ourselves to learn how to use this tool with that much more clarity and consistency, and how we can do this alone, solo again. And in advance, we say thank you for your help and inspiration and guidance. And with that, we may begin. Okay, so I was looking at you guys too when I was saying the prayer. Typically I don't, but I wanted to show you that I'm actually stating my intentions. I brought in good positive energies. The guides are already here. I feel them. And now just through our practice and our patience and persistence, that's number 3, we've already made these contacts. But let's just say this is one person using it. I'm going to do it with him because the messages come through a lot quicker. All right, so here we go. The guides are already here. Thank you. And you guys, I'm talking to them directly. You heard our request. Our intentions is to give it an opportunity for you to share your guide and wisdom and how to use this tool by yourself. W E N E E D Y O U T O T R U S T T H A T T H E W O R D S T H A T Y O U F I N D A R E G I V E N F R E E L Y A N D T H A T L O V E I S O U R M O T I V A T I O N A N D S H O U L D B E Y O U R S A S W E L L B E F O R E A L L T H I N G S T H E R E W A R, no, not R, W A, thank you, S L O V E S E E K T H I S A N D T H E W O R D S W I L L B E Y O U R S. Thank you very much. So this is not going to be a full session today. We will do one of those again in the future where we have a live session. But right now, this is just a quick message for you because we're just talking today about how to use the board alone. This is what they said. We need you to trust that the words that you find are given freely and that love is our motivation and should be yours as well. Before all things, there was love. Seek this and the words will be yours. What do you think?
I like that.
Yeah, I do too. I didn't bring up that part, but I'm so glad they did. Thank you guys, because it's, okay, I didn't want to go into too much like where do you get negative or positive messages or you get evil or good, and it's really a matter of perspective. And they're saying everything was built from love originally, from source, from creator, from all beings are built in love. Seek that love from which all words come from, and then in the end, that's all you're going to find in these communications. What you seek is what you'll get. I'm not here to tell you what you should seek or not seek, but I am here to help you, if you choose, to have a great path along the way with using this tool so that you do receive incredible messages, great insights, and your life becomes that much more easier and smoother.
I like it.
Yeah, me too.
I like the message too. That was interesting.
I do too. So again, thank you for watching the show. Thank you for liking, subscribing, commenting, and for joining us here and for asking this wonderful question. So we did a video for you. You have other videos you'd like us to do. We'd be happy to do those. And again, thank you for being here and joining us. This was Creative Visions TV. That's Rodney, my board partner. And I'm Karen Dahlman, your host. We'll see you again real soon. Bye.